Hey guys, back with another scripted video. So, if you've been in the Danny's World fandom or fandom spaces in general, you might be familiar with AUs, aka alternate universes. And a pretty popular AU idea is to do a main swap or a tune swap. The idea is pretty self-explanatory. You either swap the mains, or another tune in general, with another tune. You can do practically anything with this idea. So you might be thinking, Mbakio, where are you going with this? Well, I'm glad you asked. So you guys know how each main, other than Astro, has a main requirement in order for you guys to buy them. The idea I had for this video is to, as mentioned before, swap the mains with their mastery counterparts. Sadly, this does not include the event mains, since they don't really have any mastery requirements to be purchased, but I might make a part 2 in this video if this does somewhat well. I'm sure I can figure something out. Instead of doing just designs like some of these AUs tend to do, I decided to give these tunes new stat spreads and new abilities. The abilities are a lot different but follow relatively the same idea of their canon abilities, so make sure to stay to the end and see what I have in store. Before we start, I'm going to say that I'm not the best at game balancing, so some of these might seem a bit unbalanced. Thankfully, they are just concepts. But since these are just concepts, if you guys would like to, you guys can comment down your own ideas for these tunes. Now that that's out of the way, make sure to like, subscribe if you enjoy this video, of course, and let's get on to our first duo. To start off this duo, I just want to say that Astro doesn't currently have a mastery counterpart as said before, so I decided to choose R&D based on Dazzle's and Astro's friendship. Also, I might be a bit biased, but it's okay because they need a partner anyway. To start off, let's go over Astro's new kit. My personal Astro rework has 2-star skill check, 2-star movement speed, 3-star stamina, 4-star stealth, and 4-star extraction speed. I know his movement might be a bit alarming, but he doesn't really need to move around for his new ability. Let's talk about this new ability actually. Astro's new ability, Good Night's Rest. It's a passive. All tunes get a passive 250 stamina regen buff for 20 seconds when the elevator opens or when panic mode starts. So my thought process for this ability is that I wanted to go with something stamina based, but not be too overpowered. I could've just given him like a pocket bop like his old ability, so the next best thing was stamina regen. I kinda didn't know how it would activate though, so I kinda just rehashed Gordy's passive, but with stamina regen. Another idea I had was it would be an active ability that gives everybody stamina regen no matter how close they are to Astro, but it was kinda OP, so I didn't end up giving it to him. If you were to give this Astro concept an ability, what would you choose? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up is Rattle and Dazzle. So, with this one, we're going to do something a tiny bit different and start off with the ability. Because, you know, Rattle and Dazzle's whole thing is just stat changing, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, here's a new ability. Okay, so I'm editing right now, and I just realized I said 250 tapes instead of 125 in the script. So, just pretend I said 125. Comedy and Tragedy, redone, toggle. This tune can swap between 2 different stat spreads whenever they want for 250 tapes. Cooldown, 45 seconds. And let's go ahead and go over the stat spreads. Our first stat spread, Comedy. 1-star skill check, 5-star movement speed, 5-star stamina, 3-star stealth, and 2-star extraction speed. This is the stat spread you'll start off on. It's kinda bare bones on extraction speed, but the movement speed makes it go-to for distracting. Now, our second stat spread, Tragedy. 5-star skill check, 2-star movement speed, 1-star stamina, 3-star stealth, and 5-star extraction speed. After getting 250 tapes, if you want to extract, make sure to use your ability for the best extraction speed currently in the game. As much as I love R&D, I always wanted to have a way to control the stat spreads as a quality of life, even though it kind of ruins their gimmick. I think a very good way to balance it would be to make it cost tapes to swap. Being able to swap whenever without any cost would be pretty broken, and not in a good way. And since they remain, they also have a second ability, Curtain Call, passive. When spotted by a twisted or completing a machine depending on if they're in the comedy or tragedy state, the tune gains a 15% speed boost for 5 seconds. The ability boosts movement speed by spotted by a twisted in the comedy state, and by completing a machine in the tragedy state. It's pretty simple, but you could still mix it up. This is one of the better reworks I had, in my personal opinion. Although this might be a tiny bit OP, I still think it's manageable, if balanced right of course. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this duo. On to the next one. And our next duo is Pebble and Toodles. I think the abilities I came up with are very clever. Let's start off with Pebble since he's getting downgraded, but I still think he's useful. For Pebble's new stats, he has 1-star skill check, 4-star movement speed, 4-star stamina, 3-star stealth, and 3-star extraction speed. I think that doesn't make sense with Pebble's skill check is that Pebble, the dog, has more skill check than Cosmo the baker. I don't really know about this, guys, but I feel like baking has a little bit more precision than just being a dog. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here. Let's start talking about his new ability, Bonk. Active. Pebble speeds up and rams into a machine or a Twisted, adding either 25% completion to the machine or giving the Twisted a 20% speed debuff for 30 seconds. Cooldown 65 seconds. I do like the concept of abilities having multiple uses. It kind of reminds me of R&D swapping stats in a way. Having multiple uses, but you can actually choose which use you can use, unlike R&D's swapping stats, but that's not the point. His rework has very good potential for supporting or distracting. His bonk ability is less than a jumper cable, but he doesn't have to get on the machine to use it. And you can also just ram into your kite whenever you want to make them slower. Although this would make it a random debuff, but still, I feel like it'd be useful. Like Scraps' grapple, when he rams into a Twisted, his hitbox disappears for a tiny bit, making you unable to be hit. That's all I have for Pebble though. Let's talk about our new main and the second tune of the duo, Toodles. My Toodles rework might be a tiny bit confusing, but I promise it's good. Toodles' new stats are 3-star skill check, 5-star movement speed, 3-star stamina, 2-star stealth, and 3-star extraction speed. She's the new best distractor, but her ability doesn't really relate to distracting. Her new ability, Helpful Cheers, active, allows her to boost the tune's lowest star stat by half a star for 15 seconds. Cooldown is 45 seconds. Now I'm not sure how they would code this into the game, but like it's okay because it's not really real in any way. For her targeting, it's kinda like Shelly's, so you can just boost people while you're distracting. Pretty cool, huh? And like Rattle and Dazzle, she also has a second ability, and the ability is Imagination, passive. Toodles gains a 25% boost in a random stat each floor, resets to a new stat each floor. Okay, yeah, I might have just stolen this off of Lucky Coin, but it does remind me of her cannon abilities, so I think I'm just gonna keep it as it is. This can either be a blessing or a curse. You gotta have the odds in your favor. Hopefully you'll get stamina and movement speed and not stealth. That would be pretty bad. Anyway, that's all for the dog duo. On to the next one. And our next duo is V and Brightney. They're still relatively the same, but with slight difference. So let's get into it. Let's start off with V, because she's basically the same with minor tweaks. For her stats, she has 3-star skill check, 3-star movement speed, 3-star stamina, 2-star stealth, and 4-star extraction speed. Yeah, honestly, there's no difference other than her 3-star movement speed and skill check. And yeah, I know that Brightney's mastery is supposed to help with mastering stealth, but let's be honest, it doesn't help at all. So I don't really care about honoring the rule, honestly. Especially since Toodles' mastery doesn't really help to practice anything with Pebble as far as I know, but I might be stretching it here. Anyway, ability time. For her ability, it's called Camera Hijack, active. V can hack into the cameras and mark all Twisteds for the tunes for 10 seconds. In the process, V cannot interact with anything on the map for 5 seconds. Cooldown 65 seconds. Since Brightney's ability has kind of a setback of it only being able to be used in blackouts because of her most effectiveness in the dark, I thought since V has to connect to the cameras in order to see the Twisteds, this would cause her to be unable to do anything other than moving around to focus. I feel like this is a good way to make her ability kind of have a drawback for using it, but it's still useful. Anyway, that's enough about V. Let's go on to Brightney, our new main. Brightney is one of the tunes that I put the most thought into, surprisingly. Even though most of the time, it was just the ability names, which kinda doesn't really matter in the long run. Anyway, let's go ahead and go over her stats. Brightney's stats are 4-star skills check, 3-star movement speed, 3-star stamina, 1-star stealth, and 5-star extraction speed. She keeps her 1-star stealth. Honestly, this might be the most iconic stat for any tune, if I'm being honest here, because we all know that Brightney has 1-star stealth, okay? Anyway, a little bit of a side rant. I might have mentioned this in another video, but it is shocking how long it took to have another 1-star stealth tune get added into Danny's world. We had Brightney and Shrimpo since launch, and then we finally get another one with Gordy's release, which was long overdue if I say so myself. Please, Quill, now that you're experimenting with new stats, give us more to 1-star stealth tunes. Anyway, rant over. Let's go over Brightney's abilities. Her new active ability, Informed. Active. I genuinely couldn't think of anything else to name it, but like, it's okay. Brightney has connections. She marks the machines and the Twisteds for 12 seconds. If it's a blackout, the machines along with the Twisteds will also glow. Cooldown 65 seconds. Yeah, it's just V's cannon ability with extra steps, which is kind of needed for this duo, seeming how they both scan and they're kind of the scanning duo, I guess. But let's go ahead and move on to her second ability. Her second ability, Nightly Efficiency, passive. If it's a blackout, Brightney gains a 35% extraction speed boost until she's out of said blackout. Since her ability no longer requires to be in a blackout, I figured I'd give her some extraction speed when she's in a blackout. I mean, that's basically it for this duo. There's nothing else here. On to the next duo. Shelly and Tisha is by far my favorite mastery duo in the game, so I had to do something special for them. Since they're the buffing duo, I figured I might as well just give them buffing abilities since, you know, like, they're the buffing duo. So let's go ahead and talk about Shelly. Her stats are 4-star skill check, 3-star movement speed, 1-star stealth, 3-star stamina, and 4-star extraction speed. She might seem a little bit OP for, like, a non-main tune. I'm just gonna let it pass, since both Gordy and Sylvester have 5-star extraction speed and skill check. So it's okay if it's a little bit much, okay? Anyway, it's time for me to talk about her ability. It's inspired by Boxton, so it should be okay. Shelly's new ability, Encouragement, Toggle. Shelly passively provides a 25% boost in either speed or extraction speed for each tune alive. 2.5% per person. Shelly does not get the buff, but she does count for her own multiplier. It costs 50 tapes to toggle. Toggle has a cooldown of 60 seconds. I'm not entirely sure that the speed buff is balanced, so I'm just gonna pretend like it's balanced if it's not. Anyway, that's all the talk I had about Shelly. Let's talk about Tisha's rework. Her new stats are a bit different, with 5-star skill check, 4-star movement speed, 2-star stamina, 1-star stealth, and 4-star extraction speed. She has good extraction speed, which is kind of a requirement to be a good support. Astro, oh my god, who said that? Who said that? Oh my god. Anyway, before you say Tisha should not have 1-star stealth because of her character, Russia's right there. She should not have 2-star stealth, in my opinion. Anyway, Tisha's stats are still okay, plus stealth is an easy way to get a good balance on the good extraction. Now let's move on to her first ability, Deep Clean. Tisha makes a pulse of soap the size of the map, giving every tune a 50% speed boost for 15 seconds. The cooldown, 80 seconds. This ability is very good because of her stealth. She doesn't have to walk over to the distractors or people in danger. She can just pop her ability and boom, you're safe. Also, might be a bit overpowered speed-wise. I'm not the most knowing of how speed multipliers work, so I take all of the multipliers in this video with just a little grain of salt, since, I mean, I haven't designed a game before. And, with that out of the way, let's go over to his second ability, which is also very useful. Supply Restock. Passive. For each machine completed, Tisha gets a 2% cooldown reduction. Ability cooldown does not reduce if under 20 seconds. Now, it might not seem very good at first, only taking away 2 seconds, but on those later floors when every machine gets done with ease, it'll start to take effect very, very quickly. This type of ability is pretty untouched in Dandy's world, but I do think it has some potential. Just rework it and it should be good for the game. That's all I have to say about Tisha. Let's move on to our final duo of this video. If you haven't figured it out yet, it's Sprout and Cosmo, our healer duo. Or trio if you want to count Ginger, but she's not in this video. We can just like toss her aside. Even though she's my favorite, I wish she was like included in this, but it's okay. Let's start off with our former main of the duo, Sprout. His stats are pretty similar to his actual stats in game. He now has 3-star skill check, 4-star movement speed, 3-star stamina, 3-star stealth, and 2-star extraction speed. I wanted to keep his stats similar since they're pretty well-rounded in my opinion, but I do wish I added some more extraction speed since it doesn't really work with his ability that I gave him. His new ability, Overprotection. Active. Sprout can sacrifice one of his own hearts to overheal a tune to give them an armored heart. Cooldown is 60 seconds. Tune must have 3 hearts or, in the case of a main, 2 hearts, and Sprout must have 1 spare heart. This is another ability that I want in the game just because I feel like it'd be interesting. In theory, this could also work well as Ginger's new ability for this year. If they do this, I'm taking this as my idea, guys. That was my idea, guys. Okay, it was my idea. Not theirs, my idea. Even though I'm a really underground YouTuber, but that's not the point, okay? Anyway, more on the ability. This can be useful with Twisteds like Pebble or the Craft siblings, just to help the main healer a little bit. This was actually my goal for this ability, even though you kind of need 3 hearts, but if you didn't need 3 hearts, it would kind of just be like Cosmo's canon ability. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this little strawberry guy. Let's move on to our new main, Cosmo. When Cosmo came out, I love his design so much, but his stats, on the other hand, yeah, they suck bad, okay? So I wanted to make his stats a lot better than before. Instead of having okay, but not good extraction speed, instead, let's give him horrible extraction speed. His stats are similar to Blot, with a 1-star skill check, 4-star movement speed, 5-star stamina, 4-star stealth, and 2-star extraction speed. This makes it so much easier to get to people when they're hurt, but his extraction speed is the price he has to pay, making him basically useless when it comes to a machine. Thankfully, he's not meant for extracting. Here's his first ability, Emergency Kit. Active. Cosmo can give up 100 tapes to either spawn a med kit or a band-aid on the floor for anyone to take. Cooldown, 75 seconds. The look of the medkit or band-aid is different to tell where it came from. Basically, it's just for my aesthetic, guys, okay? It's not really needed. Yeah, it's kind of just Sprout's old ability with extra steps. I kind of had to do that so he'd be the better healer, since he doesn't really have the hearts to sacrifice. This is still pretty good, seeing how you can easily get early band-aids or medkits. With some of the Sprouts I've seen, you can get up to 10 heals by floor 15. His second ability is also pretty good for what it is. Adrenaline. Passive. When a tune other than Cosmo gets hit, they get a 35% speed boost for 5 seconds. Adrenaline can only be activated once every 15 seconds after triggering. Okay, so I might have stole this from Poppy, but like, it's okay, because I kinda had to rework his whole kit last minute because I kinda forgot that mains have 2 hearts. For reference, his old ability was him sacrificing his own hearts to either overheal or heal somebody. So it kinda doesn't really work. Yeah. Anyway, this ability is kinda self-explanatory. Getting hit equals 35% speed boost when Cosmo is in the run alive. And yes, if you're Poppy and Cosmo's in the run, it does stack. We all know this was coming. Yeah, you know. This ability can come in clutch when the distractor gets hit in panic by either Pebble or the craft settings. So I think it's a good added bonus. That's basically it for Sprout and Cosmo. Let's go ahead and move on to the outro. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. A lot of thought went into this video. I've kind of been lacking on full-length videos recently, so I'm going to try and lock in and make a ton of videos for you guys. If you guys want a part 2, I do have plans for it with the event tunes, but it'll probably be a shorter video since there's only like 3 so far. Quell, this is your sign to make a summer event. Trust. Okay, anyway, trust. Also, I don't really advertise this as much as I should, but I do have a Discord and a TikTok. If you guys are interested in either of these, make sure to check my description of this video down below. Trust. Anyway, that's enough from me. Make sure to like, subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!